All right, welcome back to the channel. Another fine day. Ain't gonna say nothing's fair about the days. Everybody's trying to be crooked, but another fine day, man. Hope all's well with you. Adrian Vent in the building. Smooth Groove Boxing in the building. What's going on? Viva 2V to say good morning. Salute Martin. Salute chat. Ready for this boxing conversation as always. Yes, sir. Samuel said Wilder needs to get rid of Fury, needs to get rid of Shelly Finkel. Fury needs to prove he has COVID. Ain't never gonna happen, man. Let me say what's up to everybody and so we can get into this chat. I don't believe he's gonna get rid of Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel probably got the dude a lot of money doing his job. And as far as Fury proving he's got COVID, he doesn't have COVID. That's all he can prove. He says he doesn't have it now. He can't go back and prove that he did have it. Because you know that dude was telling a story, man. Lil 357 in the building. Black Parent, what's going on, man? Dwayne Jones, blessings to you in Atlanta. Isaiah Felix, what's going on, man? Blessings to you. Rod a Prophet, Mr. Ayash. Maurice Ingram said, oh, what's going on in Detroit? Detroit's in the building. Ty Spencer in the building. What's going on with you? Mr. Mersal, Wilder only good for twerking. You like looking at his ass, huh? Don't give yourself up. You think he's good for twerking? Man, sometimes when you guys are smart asses, you just put your face dead in a pile of shit. Why would you think he's good at twerking? Personally, I don't have any opinion on his twerking. You know, I saw him twerking and I turned the video immediately. I ain't interested in seeing him shake his ass for a bunch of women. But you think that the dude is good at twerking? I mean, what exactly about his twerking do you like? Is it the bend in his back or the hump in his booty? Which one is it? I mean, you know, since you're going to be out here telling people who's a good twerker and not a good twerker. That shit is ridiculous. What's going on? Rick Blackwell in the building. What's going on, man? It says salute. Keep cooking these emotional old media heads. Yeah, well, let's get into the what's up to everybody else in the chat, man. Let's get into the subject matter of the video too. I'm trying to tell you, Terry Schmoot, they never stop. Dude, whenever you come at me with one of them little sweetie pie some type of sweetie pie aura, you know, feeling something like that, dude, I'm gonna throw it right back at you, okay? I'm going to throw it right back at you. Jamal Davis said the Wilder haters are mad because revenge is coming to Fury and nobody can save him. Look, man, I think it's going to be a good fight. I just hope that it's a fair fight because the last couple fights were not fair. And people can say what they want to say, but you all know you saw the gloves. You know you saw the tapes. You know what happened. So can you guys please stop acting like you didn't see it? But what I want to talk about today is how John Fury says that Deontay Wilder is cherry picking Tyson Fury. Can you please explain to me? Now I absolutely positively believe that it's a family thing and not just something that is purely with Tyson Fury. He's saying that Deontay Wilder cherry-picked him in all three of the fights. Is Tyson Fury the best fighter in the world, or is he not the best fighter in the world? Please let me know. Did he win the first? Do you guys who are Tyson Fury fans, or actually really Deontay Wilder haters, did you? Yeah, exactly. Renee Park said, it pained me to see Wilder in the last fight, but all dogs have their day. Look, when you cheat like that, it's coming for you. You know, one way or another, dude, that shit's coming for you because you put that shit out in the universe, and that shit's gonna come right back. That shit's gonna come right back to you, man. 8 off July 21. I don't know what that means, man. You have to help me out with that. But can you guys help me? How is it possible that Deontay Wilder cherry-picked Tyson Fury? In the first fight, Tyson Fury had a year to prepare for it, and he had 2 tune-up fights. How is that a cherry pick? And then how did he cherry pick in the second fight? In the second fight, Tyson Fury was supposed to, they said Tyson Fury won the first fight. If Tyson Fury won the first fight and he's the number, what was he ranked at the time? The number 2 heavyweight in the world by Ring Magazine, the illustrious Ring Magazine. If he's the number 2, how do you cherry pick? How do you cherry pick somebody that's ranked higher than you? And somebody that you just went the distance with? It's mind-boggling, man, how somebody can play the victim. Like, John Fury must be the one that teaches, that demonstrated to Tyson Fury how to play the victim. Because in one breath, he's saying that Tyson Fury is the best fighter in the world and nobody can beat him. However, he's also being cherry-picked. Like, what are you doing? Wilder won the first fight. Nah, you got to be, I have to be consistent with it. The first fight was a draw. And it was a draw in which Tyson Fury got a big benefit in the referee allowing Tyson Fury to continue to fight. How are you cherry picking a former unified heavyweight champion? Exactly. That's my point. How do you cherry pick that? For me, what it looks like they're doing is they're trying to say they're the better fighter and at the same time make Deontay Wilder a villain. Like, Deontay Wilder's this big bad guy that's picking on us, but at the same time, my son is 6'9", 300 pounds, and will choke you to death in a ring. You know, like, come on, man. Oh, by the way, man, make sure you guys drop questions in the comment section, man, so we can keep the conversation going. Wilder fought Ortiz twice. The other heavyweights were scared to fight Ortiz. Yeah, that's no doubt about that. And they still don't want to fight Ortiz. They still don't want to fight him. And like Dillian White's not going to fight him. Anthony Joshua's not going to fight him. And there's no push on anybody to fight him. Kudos, Fannon. Wilder was never ready. I don't know what you mean about he was never ready. Never ready to get cheated. I definitely believe that he wasn't ready for that glove flopping around all through the first fight. And he must not have picked it up before the second fight, because if he would have seen that, then I guess he might have been on cheat alert. But what they did in the second fight, that was just like really over the top, dude. Deontay Wilder said, Fury's dad took too many punches to the head. Jesus, where will dumb shit end? Yeah, that's not the first time he said that, man. It's not the first time he said it. He said it before. And Tyson Fury said that before. No, they thought that they had me because I was down and out. No, he didn't try to fight. He didn't fight you straight out. He gave you what did he give you? A year? A solid year. Yeah, the glove's fucked up for sure. But anyway, yeah, I don't understand that, man. I don't understand the victim mentality of Tyson Fury. He's supposed to be the best guy, the biggest heavyweight in the world, but he's coming with the victim mentality. And now he says, now this I do agree with, that he said that Deontay Wilder's career might be on the line. I don't agree with that. And he said that Deontay Wilder's life may be on the line. I definitely agree with that, 100%. Because Tyson Fury is going to go in there and try to kill Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you, they have no compunction. These guys are not changing their ways. They are going to go in there and they're going to try some very desperate, dastardly shit. And the hope is that they don't get along with it. Ty Spencer said, I no longer try to process anything Fury says or does. He's a 7'2" junkie that can box. Yeah, he can box though. He can box. Is he a junkie? I don't even think he's a junkie, dog. Really. I think that he's exaggerating about that cocaine. I believe he's exaggerating. He's like, I was just up there sniffing cocaine, 24/7. Nigga, you would have had a heart attack if you would have been clipped. If you were sniffing cocaine 24 hours a day, dude, you would have had a heart attack or something. Man, get up out of here. I believe he's lying about a lot of that stuff. I believe he's lying about mental. Because he's trying to sell a storyline. He tries to sell a storyline. Terry Smoot said, this is the new day and age where the suspect is the victim and the victim is now the subject. Oh, no. There's nothing new about that. Ain't nothing, Terry Schmoot. There ain't nothing new about that. And people don't like me saying it. That's wearing the black hat. That's what you call, that's why they call, what's going on, Trey Boy 89? That's what they call having the black hat. Because isn't that what happens to black folk regularly? Aren't you like it's called blaming the victim. You make an evil guy out of the person that you're tormenting because of some negativity that they demonstrate, which is really a result of your mistreating them to begin with. Man, what's going on, man? What's going on, Fahim Satur? I got to pronounce your whole name, man. All right, let me see. We got a question. Goddess Allure Ra. Why can't Luke Fury's dad, John Fury, come to the U.S. to watch his son fight? Why was he really banned from coming to the America? Because I think the guy's he's like a repeat felon. I'd say most of his clans repeat felons. That's what it sounds like. If you can't get into the country, that's because you probably got some felonies on there, like some violent crime related to it. And I do believe he gouged some man's eye out in a fight. I don't know how serious the fight was to where he had to gouge the man's eyes out, where the guy was trying to, was still coming at him or whatever. But he did some very, very dastardly, job to somebody in the fight. Nobody is making Fury out to be a villain for saying Wilder's life is on the line. Oh, of course not. Well, first of all, to be fair, his dad said that. And to be fair, his life is on the line. Getting in there with Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is a dangerous man. For sure a dangerous man in a boxing ring. Dude, and he's very, very dangerous, man. What he did in that last fight, that was very, very dangerous. To get in the ring with loaded gloves and then chokeholds. I mean, come on, man. What did he do? He fouled the guy like 16 times. He's 16 hard fouls before Kenny Bayless gave him a warning. And is bad. And look, he was doing it so badly that Tyson Fury had it. You remember when Tyson Fury got the point taken away from him? He got a point taken away from him, and he was like, okay, yeah. And he went right back at it. Like, yeah, thanks for taking the point. I don't care. I'm going to try to kill this dude. That's what he was doing. Ambitious Resolve said Wilder's going to reinvent himself and destroy Fury by knockout. Look, I hope that he does is I hope that he learns to slip the jab, and go to the body. Slip to the jab, start down low with body shots, let himself open himself up, hit him with a left hook, hit him with a left hook on the inside. I think that he's got to fight as a smaller guy. Because Deontay Wilder's used to fighting somebody from the outside, because he's usually the taller guy at 6'7". But in this case, he's not the taller guy. He's the shorter guy. So he's going to have to do something. He's going to have to do something that basically will neutralize Tyson Fury's height advantage. And that is to get on the inside. And I think that's what I saw him working on when with the tapes that were released by by Malik Scott. It looks like he's working on getting on the inside. Silo Silence said all those rabbit punches, exactly, rabbit punches. Let me not forget the rabbit punches. Although because he started off the fight just the first time, boop, 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 hit to the back of the head from the beginning. All those rabbit patches to the back of the head, Tyson Fury gave Wilder, and the refs just stood there, tripping and pushing. We're watching Tyson Fury with an eagle eye. Yeah, it's going to be on him. But, like I said, man, I don't think he cares. I think that he's so used to getting the benefit of the doubt and nobody really doing anything about his fouls that he's willing to do whatever he's got. He's going to do whatever he thinks he needs to do, to get that done. Tyson Fury's trying to find another way to cheat. Oh, for no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Fannon and friends. What? Oh, that's me? Uh-huh. We gonna look at you mighty like you gotta go, homie. Thank you for your picture with my face on it, but get out. Bye. I don't know no Fannon and friends, dog. You got to get up out of here. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe you, dude. Fannon and friends, I don't believe you at all, at all, at all. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I don't believe your ass at all, at all, at all. Okay, get you. You're the dude who comes up with all them sweetie pie things, dog. You same MO, man. Same. He is a trill. See, that's them troll accounts, man. They're everywhere. You know what it is? You know, they just like being around you guys in the comment section. They want the attention from you guys. I'm telling you, that shit ain't about me. That shit's about you guys. See, Fannon. He said, I really hope Wilder has improved, but I'm sorry, Fury is a different breed. Yeah, you're a Fury fan. I think Fury has this. Not gonna say it's gonna be easy fight though. That's fair enough. If you think he's gonna win the fight, that's fair. I don't have a problem with that. The Gypsy Queen also ran into Wilder's elbows. First ref said nothing. Also ran into, what do you mean he ran to his elbow, into his elbows? Oh, you know that they do. You know the trolls got a lot of spare time. They got plenty things to do, man. I mean, they ain't got a lot to do. But it's fun. That's the way they want to get their attention. I give them your attention. You say something to me, and it's sideways, I'm gonna say something sideways to you, and then I'm gonna throw you out. And then you can come back under again. Terry Smooth says trolls are sub to the channel. That's when they know you're doing something. Then you're doing something amazing. Look, well, I'll tell you what. If that's what that means, then I must be amazing. Because I swear to goodness, dude, I got more trolls than you can shake a stick at, man. It makes it real fun. Crybaby channel. Yeah. Goodbye. Look, man. Babies cry when you hit them in the face with gloves with no padding. Okay? If you were to choke hold a baby, the baby may actually say something about that. But you're not going to convince people not to say something that they saw. Okay? That's not going to work. You're not you necessarily, but you're not. But the media that is behind and supports Top Rank, you're not going to get people to just shut up and be like, okay, yeah, it makes no difference what we see with our own eyes. We're going to go with you. Why do I block supporters? I don't block supporters. I block people. Hey, block him. I block people to take my picture and put it on things. I never said you could use my likeness, friend. And you're not, and being polite ain't gonna do nothing, other than get you blocked too. Because you're being phony. I don't appreciate it. Keep my face off of your whatevers, and you can stay in the chat most likely. I saw a thumbnail, Ambitious Resolve. I saw a thumbnail with Tyson Fury and his flat right glove. Hey, yeah, use that one. Hey, look, I'm just telling you what's going on, man. The man cheated, and there's no way out of it. Yeah, Cameron McPherson, he said his life is on the line. That's what he said. Hey, Fannon, will Fury stoop so low as to retire before he fights Wilder? I don't know, man. I'll tell you, it's going to be something. It's going to be, I think he's trying to figure out a way. I think he's just trying to have a better camp because he got knocked out by Jared Anderson. So he wanted a redo on his camp. I don't necessarily think that he wants to have this fight though. So it's going to be hard for him to prepare, but all that means is he's going to be very focused on cheating. Because Tyson Fury is like treats boxing like it's a carnival show or something. You know what I mean? Like it's a game of 3-card Monte or, you know, a game of shells or something like that, where it's like the fight in the ring is just only a part of it. The other part of it is to see how you can, what advantages you can get away with and what things you can do to really cause damage on the other fighter. And he just has no conscience about harming people in ways other than in the boxing match. Say, Lindsey Crawford said Klitschko was mad as hell at Fury too. Oh, I don't doubt it, because he wouldn't give him the rematch. And he cheated, and he was on performance-enhancing drugs when he got in there, man. Yeah, but hey, look, hit me with the questions that you want for today, man, so we can move off this Tyson Fury stuff for a second. I do want to talk about this Jermell Charlo thing, and I really wish that these guys, whoever you guys are that are really so upset about this Jermell Charlo fight, can you please relax? Because on the real, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing about that scorecard that really is any big deal. Like, have you ever noticed that, like, the media wants you to get upset about things and basically get upset about non-issues? So I'm here I've read it off people that said it in boxing scene. I've seen it on several people that put this up. Media people put it up on Twitter where they were saying, oh, hold on, let me see something. So Fannon, why haven't the WBC looked into Fury's camp with an investigation on that statement? Because they don't see any reason to do so. They said that they don't see any reason to do so. That's what they say. I find it very, very hard to believe that they don't see them gloves like that. But I think from a practical standpoint, what are they going to do? It's very hard. It's very hard to believe that those guys are actually going to turn around and change the decision in a fight when you got another rematch coming up. It just doesn't make sense monetarily for them. Black Parent, much love in that super chat. Thank you so much. Lindsey Crawford said Fury will fight once more, two in my opinion, but won't be the top dog. It's a shady name like Pineda. Absolute blasphemy. Look, Tyson Fury is going to either fight Deontay Wilder, or he's going to give up a whole lot of money, or he's going to run around acting for years like he doesn't have a bunch of money and just pretty much live a life of a scumbag that he is. Because Tyson Fury is a full of shit ass scumbag, and there ain't no way around it. And I'm 100% convinced the dude's going to cheat in the next fight. However he can manage to do it. And I'm telling you, the cats are like, for somebody to be so bold as to pretty much tell you that he was going to cheat, because he did that into that second fight. He's like, I'm dipping my hands in brine, and this is going to be a third round, or this is going to be a third round knockout, because he's dipping his hands in brine, and he's making his hands tough. Pretty much admitting that, okay, yeah, I'm going after him. Dude, Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury could just go at people like that, why doesn't Tyson Fury just go at people every fight and get people? Yeah, Petro, thank you very much. Thanks, Keith James. Why doesn't he just go at people every fight? That's like, do you ever wonder that? Like, Tyson Fury could just step up to Deontay Wilder, and there was nothing wrong with the gloves. All of a sudden, he's got this tremendous power, and it was just that he wasn't using it before. Like he didn't want to knock out Pineda. Like he didn't want to knock out Safiri. He didn't want to knock out Tom Schwartz. Like he didn't want to knock out Otto Wallen. How does this work where all of a sudden you just make up now's the time for me to have all this power? If you had anybody ever seen any type of real punching power behind Tyson Fury before? Absolutely not. But all of a sudden, in the fight, a fight with a guy that proved he could knock him out, for sure could knock him out. All of a sudden, he turns into this Herculean power puncher in the next fight. But yet, Deontay Wilder has pictures of him where you can literally see this dude's knuckles and hands fully formed in the glove. Doesn't that seem mighty coincidental? Like, shouldn't he have been just thinking the whole time, let me just go knock everybody out? You know, why didn't he do Klitschko like that? Just bum rush Klitschko and knock Klitschko out. Why didn't he do what's his name? John McDermott like that? Why didn't he just bowl over John McDermott? Right? Why didn't he bowl over John McDermott in the second fight? You know, seems like the only time he's ready to bowl people over is after they knock him down. Like what he did to Steve Cunningham. And Steve Cunningham, without a doubt, got cheated. Cuffed his head, literally pulled his head down, cuffed his head to blind him, and leaned into a punch at the same time. Nothing but a dirty tactic. Yeah, I'm just saying, why didn't he? You don't learn punching power or train for it. Punch power, you're born with it. Or what you can do is you can have gloves that are custom built to not have any knuckles not have any powering over your gloves. And let me say this, and I say this respectfully, and I'm not mentioning anybody by name, but we did have a conversation on Twitter briefly about gloves and about Tyson Fury's gloves and and custom gloves. Do you realize if you have a glove, right? If you're supposed to fight somebody that has small hands, right? But they have small hands and their gloves have to weigh 10 ounces. And you have gloves twice the size and your glove has to wear 10 ounces. What do you think that means for the padding on your knuckles? I'm a serious question. Hope you guys understand the question I'm asking. If you have two people that both wear 10-ounce gloves, one guy has little hands and the other guy has massive hands, what would that say for the relative amount of padding in each person's glove for it to weigh 10 ounces? What it means to me is that there's a lot less leather on the little guys. I mean, there's less leather, more padding on the little guy's hands, and the other guy, more leather, less padding. More leather, less padding. So if somebody has really big hands and their glove weighs the same amount as somebody with little hands, that bigger hand is gonna hit harder because there's less padding on them gloves. Because the way that not just the padding would stretch slightly, which makes it thinner across the knuckles. And it could be significant depending on the size of the hands of the people involved. And or just generally speaking, anybody that has really big hands that has to wear 10-ounce gloves at the same time, the bigger your hands are, and there you go, David Gold, more leather, less padding. Say it enough and you'll believe it. What does that make sense? Oh, it's not true? I'm sorry. How do you get the glove on the man's hand? They're custom gloves built for their hands. I'll say, yes, you're right. More leather, less padding. More leather, less padding. More leather, more leather, less padding. It has to be that way. Oh, you say it's true. Thank you very much, David Gold. You know, sometimes I'm looking for fights. Forgive me if I throw a couple onto the wrong area. That's obviously it's obvious how that works. And then you have custom gloves to boot where you just have the padding be in the palm of your hand or down here. He's just cheated again, man. That's all that is. That's not for me. Okay. What is this? Some guy. You really need to learn to take it like a man. No, I ain't bending over, dog, for you. Please. I'm telling you. More of that sweetie pie stuff. Wilder himself doesn't believe the gloves were fucked. Yes, he does. Absolutely he does. He's the one that accused him of doing it. It was 18 months ago. Move on. No. So what? You owe 18 months? It's the next fight, man. It's the next fight. People gamble on fights, man. People gamble on fights. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not ignoring that. Say you don't have to remove the hair, just move it around. I mean, look, dude, anybody sitting up, and it's funny. I literally hearing people act like like every fucking thing that Tyson Fury is accused of is impossible. It's impossible for somebody to do something to somebody's water. Really? It's impossible? It's impossible to do anything to the gloves because the gloves were checked and they were what? How about you build them that way? How about you make them that way beforehand? How about they come that way? How about you build them like that? You don't have to. What are they checking? The gloves are 10 ounces, but the padding is moved around. People act like there's not ways to cheat. I'm loving that you know what? I wish people would think that about black people in the United States. Let me say, and I know this is on a subject a lot of people don't know. I really wish that people had this loving heart, this positive outlook on life relative to black people that they do to Tyson Fury, right? Where don't believe what you see in your eye. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe those gloves ain't. No, that's photoshopped. It's photoshopped on the guy's website. And he's saying it's not Photoshop, but just don't believe that's Photoshop. He would never cheat. What did the guy from Mayweather Jim say? Oh, he's too good a guy. I mean, I met him. He's so nice. He smiles when he meets you. He'll shake your hand. He'll take a picture with you. You know, don't let him cough on you because he may have COVID. But, you know, that type of nonsense. Big Block in the building. What's going on with you, man? Bryce Horton. Y'all keep talking about what if Fury win. He don't want to fight. Ask yourself why did he sign a rematch but doesn't want to fight again to make a quick 50 mil and unify with AJ. Ja Muhammad in the building. Man, much love in that super chat. Thank you very much, Ja Muhammad. Every time I hear that, I think about the channel Big Ja. Big Ja Muhammad, what's good with you? There's a video of old training partners complaining about his gloves. Yeah, you're talking about. You're talking about Nicholas Asbury. Yeah, Nicholas Asbury was straight with it. Said he was, dude. What Nicholas Asbury accused him of is so ridiculous. He accused him of cheating in a sparring match. What kind of scumbag wears loaded gloves into a sparring match? These are guys that are working with you, trying to help you prepare for your fight. But you're going to put loaded gloves on and get in the ring with them. Because Nicholas Asper is like, what? He's like, all of a sudden he had these crazy knots on him. Like, he's like, Tyson Fury doesn't hit that hard. If you press him, you can beat him, right? That's Nicholas Asbury's. If you press him, you can beat him. And that's what I really think Deontay Wilder needs to do. Deontay Wilder needs to really press him. There's plenty of evidence of cheating, man. Why I throw you out of here, though? There's plenty of evidence of cheating. The question is whether or not you believe the evidence or not. There's plenty of evidence. And that type of, you're just lying. And I don't understand what you get out of that, man. Like, what do you get out of lying about it? For real, if somebody's paying you, cool. But what do you get out of lying about it? There's absolutely positively evidence of him cheating, like Deontay Wilder's testimony. That is evidence. Now, whether or not that evidence proves it to you or not, that's something else. But we've got pictures of Tyson Fury landing a punch where you can see his entire fist in the glove. And you guys just skip right over that, man. You just skip right by it. Like somebody's going to not believe shit right in their face. Smooth Groove Boxing Talk, man. Much love in that super chat. He said, Fannon, I never asked you for nothing. All I do is come and support for the last years. And now I'm asking you for a friend. Please turn me into a, oh, man, that ain't nothing but a motherfucking thing, Smooth Groove Boxing. What? You didn't have to give no super chat. You didn't have to do the super chat for that. I'm about to blast you. We got another blaster. There you go. Add moderator. All righty. There you go, Smooth Groove Boxing. And forgive me, man. And people that have come in here whose name I recognize, you know, we'll get you on a wrench. We'll get you on a wrench crew because I need a wrench crew. Ooh, cosplay. You guys are funny, man. No way. If he wore that shit, Tyson Fury would throw a hissy fucking fit. If he got in there with loaded gloves. Now, I wouldn't mind that at all. That's another way to do it. Hey, Deontay, just get in there with loaded gloves. Dip your hands in brine and get in there with gloves with no padding on it. If you know, do you have any idea how up in arms these people would be if there was a picture of Deontay Wilder with his knuckles showing in a boxing glove? You guys are such fucking hypocrites, man. You guys, every once in a while, that's a good way to do it. Like, just think about it. Something Tyson Fury does. What would happen if Deontay Wilder did it? Okay? If Deontay Wilder had pictures of his glove moving all over the damn place, you guys would be having hissy fits, legitimate hissy fits about it. Like, oh no, he's a cheater. We heard people talk about the fact that he had surgery on his arm. You give this guy no credit for shit he does. And you give and anything's okay to beat him. You guys are fuckboys. I'm sorry, man. Like, I fuck being professional for a second. You guys are fuckboys. Seriously. Because of all this shit that Deontay Wilder gets, you never gave this dude credit for not a fucking thing. The guy had 10 successful title defenses. You guys still called him a bum. The guy's the longest reigning champion in boxing. You guys still treated him like he's a bum. This guy has 40 knockouts. You're acting like anybody could do 40 knockouts. You guys are just trolls. Seriously, dude. You want shit your way. You don't even care about. And here's the thing is, you don't even give a shit about Tyson Fury. Nobody gives a fuck about Tyson Fury. You just want Tyson Fury to have beaten Deontay Wilder. You want Deontay Wilder to lose. That's what you root for. That's why you don't give a shit about any type of fairness, any type of any type of like sense of decency about what goes on in the sport of boxing. Have some damn decency. You know damn well that man's hand is coming out that glove. You know it. And you know that man's glove is flipping on to the side. But you lie and you sit in there and try to act like you're the one, like the people that pointed out that there's something wrong with them. Man, there's something wrong with y'all, man. Seriously, you guys are pieces of shit. Just all around pieces of shit. The sport of boxing is supposed to be a sport. You don't want to see people hurt. You don't want to see people hurt in a boxing ring. At least that's how I feel. And it's horrific. And I heard people say, like yesterday, that Antonio Margarito had old inserts in his hands and he shouldn't have had them there. What? Old inserts? You mean old inserts wrapped in plaster of Paris? He said that shit was flaking off of that. That shit was wet. And he wanted to know why it was wet. This man damn near beat Miguel Cotto half to death with that shit. He did that crap to Paul Williams. Man, y'all should seriously, man, have some damn decency about yourselves, man. Seriously. Have some decency. There's no way Deontay Wilder could get into the boxing ring and do the things that Tyson Fury did to Steve Cunningham without you guys being up in arms about it. But if it's Tyson Fury, oh, that's fine. He's only beating up Deontay Wilder. Oh, that's good because I wanted to see Deontay Wilder beat up so good. Man, you guys are fucking pieces of shit. Straight up. John Muhammad said, Fannon, the mentality of racism is overlooked and hidden in plain view due to the nature of their devilish minds. Wilder would have been in prison. Man, they would have stuck Deontay Wilder underneath the fucking jail. Underneath the fucking jail if they would have saw that. We need an investigation. We need an investigation. But not Tyson Fury. No need for. And then on top of it, Bob Arum. People actually pay attention to what Bob Arum has to say about it. Bob Arum has had people damn near killed under his watch. It's impossible. It's impossible to cheat. Don't you know it's impossible to cheat? No, I don't know it's impossible to cheat because every other time there's a fight where you don't like a scorecard, you bitch and complain about a scorecard you don't like. Even though one scorecard doesn't determine the match. Like that bullshit with Jermell Charlo, you guys can fucking suck a dick when it comes to that shit. Seriously. You guys all up in arms about Jermell Charlo getting a 117, 111 scorecard. What is the difference between a 115, 113, and 118, 110? What's the difference? 117, what is the difference? The answer to that is nothing. There's literally no difference between a 115, 114, and a 118, 110. No difference whatsoever. The judge scored the fight for Jermell Charlo. That's it. And guess what? You can, if you don't believe it, change the scorecard of Brian Castano to 118, 110. Guess what? All that means is he scored the fight for Brian Castano. That's it. But you got people acting like that's what we need to be upset about. Oh, of all the things going on in boxing, the one thing we need to go hard about is some shit that don't matter. There's 3 judges' scorecards. 3 of them. 2 of them have to agree with each other to give the person the fight. That's the metric that matters. That scorecard shit doesn't even matter. But yet you guys get all up in a, how are we going to solve this problem? But yet I can show you a picture of Tyson Fury's hand coming through a glove and you act like you don't see it. Because you want to find something to be upset about because your guy lost or your guy didn't win. You were so, yeah, he's got it. No, he doesn't. Sorry, Brian Castano didn't win the fight. You know why Brian Castano didn't win the fight? Because Brian Castano wasn't busy enough, didn't do shit in the center of the ring. And that cost him rounds on a judge's scorecard. One of the judges gave it to him because he was throwing punches up against the ropes. The other one said, you didn't do anything for at least a minute and a half of this round, so no, I can't give you that. That to me was reasonable. It could go either way. And when you give people going either way, you know what they tend to do? They tend to say, hey, one judge is going to score it for the one guy, another judge is going to score it for another guy. If you want to solve the problem, go back to one judge. But what's the problem with that? Then it would just be one scorecard is the whole thing. You already solved the problem of a bad scorecard by having 3 different refs. That's how you protect against that. But you guys want to complain about that shit and overlook steroids. You overlook steroids. You treat Canelo Alvarez like Canelo Alvarez didn't pop dirty. You treat Tyson Fury like he's some upstanding citizen, like he didn't already pop dirty for Nandrolone. Come on, man. You got this one guy testing positive for Combuterol, another guy on with Nandrolone, and you're like, yeah, well, he tested positive this time. As long as it's your guy, huh? As long as it's the guy you think the people that you want to watch boxing are going to be down with, then whatever they do, hey, no problem. Get out of here, dude. Sorry, I had to snap off for a second on that. Gun-toting Democrat said a strong black man scared these people to death. Without a doubt. Because that's the only... What justification would you have for that? I know I heard Deontay Wilder... They say Deontay Wilder had a... Man, fuck what them bums are talking about anyway. You know that motherfucker's cheating. And you know damn well if that ain't no way. Ain't no way Floyd Mayweather Jr. is getting away with that shit. You remember how hard it was for Floyd Mayweather Jr. to be... Hey, RC Boxing Life in the building. Says, salute, good brother. You're speaking the truth. The power. Wilder would be banned from boxing and facing charges. That's why you're in my top 3 pound for pound. Love you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. All right, and shout out to you, RC Boxing Life. Thank you for your support, man. Breaking news. Teofimo vacated his belt. The fight is off. He vacated which belt? Man. Making them crazy calls, huh? He said, and these old media reporters are the cause of this nonsense. Dude, this is my take on boxing media. Boxing media relies on interviews to put out articles. They rely on interviews. If you are not towing the line of the promoter, you're not going to get the interviews. That's how they get their big breaks, is because they get connected to the fighters. Promoters are the ones that control access to, by and large, promoters are the ones that control access to fighters. And if they want to get that access to multiple fighters, they've got to get along with the promoters. And the promoter also wines and dines them. You saw what happened with Dan Rayfield. Dan Rayfield got fired or got released, whatever it was, from ESPN after Eddie Hearn threw him under the bus and talked about, oh yeah, I bought Dan Rayfield a room. After Dan Rayfield, because that's how the promoter got Dan Rayfield in Eddie Hearn. First thing he did is he started giving Dan Rayfield bad information. And then after he gave him bad, because he said that the fight between AJ and Luis Ortiz was set. So Dan Rayfield came out there with the source and said, my sources tell me that Anthony Joshua is going to fight Luis Ortiz. And then that fight didn't come through. And then after that, Eddie Hearn said something to the effect that he was glad that he was paying media people's rooms, and because of the great coverage that he gets when he gives these media guys presence, right? Pretty much. When he said that he paid for Dan Rayfield's room. Dude, after that, Dan Rayfield got let go. So that seems to be the game that gets played between the boxing media, like the mainstream boxing media, and the promoters themselves. Because the promoters will do shit like I'm sure they take them out to dinner, like the Boxing Writers Association of America. Bob Arum is very into, making sure that fighters fight around their banquet so that they can see their fighters and have access to their fighters, and top ranking those guys court media. So, and a lot of these media guys don't know boxing for shit, really. I mean, that's my take on it, because I listen to what they have to say, and I'm like, Mike Coppinger doesn't particularly know a lot about boxing. He'll get access to fighters and tell you what the breaking news is, right? Because he knows the promoters. And the promoters will give him reliable information. Roger Mudd in that super chat, man. Much love in that super chat. Thank you so much. And my man, Terrell Boxley said, you on fire, you cooking them. And they should be cooked because they're going to fuck around and get somebody killed in a boxing ring. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, a bad scorecard is not going to get somebody killed, okay? A bad scorecard makes you may throw the fight, right? One way or the other, right? But really, it's not even a bad scorecard that will do that. It will be just a bad all-out decision, which, by the way, I've seen a bunch of times. I've seen a bunch of decisions where I was like, what the fuck? How did that guy win that fight? Where all three judges had the fight scored for one guy. I see that way more often than I see a fight. Hey, man, I can't wait to get rid of this shit. I got this one little thing from malware that always pops up. Titans 34 JD, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Said Triller overpaid, fight didn't sell. Now they want to fight in Australia. Hey, go take your ass to Australia, man. Get your money. Stanley Brown, man. Much love in that super chat. Thank you very much. Got done training and bored. I don't know what that means. Hey, Roger Mudd said, what about the water? If you watch Wilder Fury 2, Wilder was wiping his eyes like he looked tired before the fight even started. Look, I absolutely believe that Tyson Fury is capable of that. Without a doubt, I believe Tyson Fury is definitely capable of fucking with somebody's water, and that these guys would not hesitate to do it. They're scumbags. If you would do the shit that you did in the ring to Nicholas Asbury, what won't you do? Seriously, what wouldn't you do? If you're the type of guy that would get into a sparring ring with loaded gloves, and you're fighting a guy that is nowhere near at your professional level, you're a top 100, you're a top two, top 3 heavyweight in the world. And you're fighting a guy that is number 190. But you would get in there with loaded gloves, and it's because he was practicing. It's because he was practicing. You are practicing using loaded gloves. You know how they say you got to play? Hey, you got to practice how you play. So he was in there like working on his cheating. And I bet you money he tried that shit. I'll bet you $5. I'll bet you $5 that he tried that shit, that he knew damn well he couldn't try that shit in this training camp, and that's why Jared Anderson knocked his ass out. I believe that Jared Anderson knocked his ass out. Mansa Sheikh Zula said, the Tyson Fury cheated in sparring, horrible person. Look, man, how can you not be a scumbag if you are getting, look, that's like loading, God, what kind of parallel is that? That's like you're racing. It's like you're racing. You're an Olympic sprinter, and you're on a workout with a high school sprinter, right? But you're an Olympic sprinter, got the Olympic gold, right? Isn't that what he is? He's a unified champion. So that's like, he was a unified world champion, had 3 belts, right? So that means like in sprinter parlance, you're the man. You're the man. You won the 100, the 200, and the long jump. Won the 100, the 2, and the long jump. And you're going to get in there against a high school sprinter and take off early or trip him. You know what I'm saying? Steal his blocks. You know what I'm saying? Steal the grips from underneath his blocks. It's just ridiculous. Kenneth Johnson, man, much love in that super chat. Thank you so much for your support. If T.O. vacate the belt, the Triller card go down because the main start put out of the fight. Oh, the main star. Yeah. And so the tickets, no, so they're saying the tickets to the fight weren't selling well. But I thought Teofimo Lopez was the man. I thought Teofimo Lopez was the biggest star in the lightweight division. That's what all these guys keep saying they are. They're big stars. It's amazing how these guys are big stars without fighting nobody. Fighting one fight, rather. He's never even had his own, never had his own, headlined his own card. At least Gervonta Davis can say he's done that. And Gervonta Davis is actually somebody whose numbers are starting to approach major star. Aren't there yet, but for a guy that is a lightweight, doing very, very, very well, man. Said Triller will be taken to court. Hey, man, we'll see. That seems like a long. You know what it's gonna be though? If it doesn't come through, that's gonna be tough on Teofimo's relationship with Bob Arum. He's gonna have to get back in line, huh? He's gonna have to start acting nice, huh? He said, "Good catch on start equals star." Yeah, he meant a star. He said the star. Teo is not a pay-per-view star. Nah, look, man. None of those guys are stars. I'm just gonna break it to you. I don't think any of those guys are stars. I mean, I don't know. Does everybody a star? Like, you know what I mean? Like, does everybody in the movie that you recognize in the movie, are they all stars? You know what I mean? Like Steve Buscemi, is he well, I guess at a certain point now he's a star. But was he a star when he was playing bit roles and all of that? You know, right now these guys are just they're in the movie. They're not the star. They're in the movie. They're actors. They're in the movie. I give them that, and they're building their stardom. Tornade Boxing said, "I watch your videos and egos for the truth in boxing. My buddy is mixed, and I wouldn't listen to your video because the word white privilege. I told him to double your bet. He's scared to double." What'd he say? "I watch your videos and egos for the truth in boxing. My buddy is mixed and wouldn't listen to your video because of the word white privilege. I told him to double our bet, and he's scared to double." I don't get that. Oh, he doesn't like it because I use the word white privilege? He definitely don't need to be in this channel then. Because, look, first of all, I don't necessarily believe in white privilege. I mean, in this sense, I believe that by and large, white people are treated the way that they should be treated. Black people, by and large, are not treated that way. And there's a lot of horse shit that goes on in the air. It's just half of the oxygen is tainted. Just put it that way. It's like you're in an atmosphere where you can breathe in the air, and there's white people can breathe in the air, and there's nothing bothers their allergies. But black people are breathing the same air, and we just start getting the sniffles and shit. You know what I mean? Sniffles, and sometimes you just choke and get dead. Not saying that white people don't have problems in their life or have hardships, but you know, you don't have the problem of having to be being black and having people make a bunch of assumptions about you because you got color in your skin. That's what you are living free from. So if there's a privilege, or there's a privilege in not having to deal with that shit. Because trust me, we have to deal with that shit. And you don't have to deal with it, which is why you don't see it, because you don't have to deal with it. But again, just like Tyson Fury's gloves, we see it. And there ain't no way you're going to convince anybody that we don't see it, you know? Yeah, I'm just saying it's you get my point, Mike. It's a bit of a semantic, but it's an important semantic. I'm not saying, because some people could say, listen to that and be like, I'm white, where's my privilege? You know, say he's somebody that's white is living in what do you call them things? trailer park, right? Living in like 8 Mile, like in a trailer park. And they got all kind of people around them are on opioids. They can't, they've got all, have difficulties holding jobs, all that kind of stuff, right? That stuff is real. Yeah, it's stuff is really real in their life. So I don't want to ever say anything that would make you believe that I think white people just have, their lives are just hunky-dory and they never have any problems and, it's all peaches and cream, because that's not the case. I don't think that's the case necessarily for anybody. But what I'm trying to do is distinguish the fact that you don't have to deal with the fact that you've got color in your skin. And that, in a way, is how you're supposed to be treated. It shouldn't be considered a privilege, but relative to us, for black people that can slip in between the cracks, they believe that's a privilege, Anyway, yeah, it said true about the star thing. Yeah, man, them dudes they're not stars, man. They're in the movie, and everybody's trying to act like they're some big star. That's like with Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero acts like he's this big mega star. He's sitting there with the sunglasses, the super dark tinted sunglasses and his belt on. And I'm like, dude, that shit's not even a real championship belt. And can you take your sunglasses off? Because I know you can't see shit. Rolly style. Yeah, that's Rolly. Because, see, Rolly Romero acting like he's a star, that's like, just stop, man. I've seen Rolly Romero at boxing matches. None of you dudes are treated like stars. Like, for real. Like, not treated like stars. Like, oh, hey, can I take a picture with you? But shit, get out of here. I get people asking me to take pictures with me. Like, stop. A star is Mayweather's a star. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a star. Manny Pacquiao is a star. Canelo Alvarez, I do believe, is a star, right? Those are stars. Errol Spence Jr. is now getting to the star level. Mike Ethers, true, but look at sports in general. Check out how they treat Wilder and Floyd. Look, I don't ever expect for non-black people to say anything in support of black people in our problems. It's our deal. It's our job to say something about our problems to ourselves. I don't give a fat rat if a bunch of people think nothing that Deontay, that I'm crying and just talking out the side of my neck. What's going on in Southern T Boxing in the building? I don't care if they think I'm talking out the side of my neck, because I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to black people, because it's important that we understand it. Because the only person that is, Manny's a star. Because the only people that it's important to understand it is black people. So we know how to navigate and go about our business every day. I wouldn't do this to be holding conversations with white people. I don't want to stand up in a room full of white people and talk about racism in front of a room full of white people, because they know it exists. I know it exists, but me talking to them ain't going to do nothing. The only thing that's going to do something with them is them talking about it amongst themselves. And I don't want to be sitting up there giving them either feel-good moments or anything, talking to them about that. But I will talk to black people about it, and that's the only people that matters. We knowing what's going on with ourselves empowers us to fix problems in our lives. We don't have to care whether or not somebody else believes it, which is why I kick you trolls out any and every time you start bumping your lips. I'm not fucking talking to you, okay? Imagine as soon as I start talking about black people and racism, understand what I'm doing. I am literally creating an imaginary room with nothing but black people in it. And I'm talking to black people. I'm not talking to Hispanics. I'm not talking to white people, because it ain't my job to convince Hispanics what racism is for black people. It's not my job, and I'm not interested in it. But I will tell black people, absolutely, Deontay Wilder is treated in that fashion because Deontay Wilder's black. That's the only way it makes sense, because those are the only people that get treated like that. Terrell Boxley said, yep, I'm definitely keep defending Wilder, period. Yeah, and if he was to lose his next fight, which I hope that he doesn't, and I believe that he will win, I don't even care. I don't care what people think about it. We got to support our own people, period. And other people that are good in your life. You know what I mean? But as far as supporting people, I think it's important that we understand what's going on. Because there's no way that if Tyson Fury, that if Tyson Fury had done in his career what Deontay Wilder had done, the exact same thing where he was before he fought Tyson Fury. There's no way in the world that the United States of America would not be treating that dude like he's some great hero. He picked up the sport late. He's an Olympic bronze medalist. Look at how they talk about him now. Racist ass Eddie Hearn, acting like the man can't learn. Like, for real, like, there's nothing you can teach him. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Eddie? There's nothing you can teach him? Who the fuck are you? You ain't no goddamn rocket scientist. Your fucking self, okay? Otherwise, you wouldn't be losing a bunch of people's fucking money. Get the fuck up out of here, man. Eddie Hearn is like talking about Deontay Wilder can't learn. Like, why can't he learn? Dumbass Tyson Fury learned to cheat. You think does Tyson Fury strike you as some fucking as some rocket scientist? Hell no. He's just dumb. That motherfucker is dumb as a doornail. Fuck up out of here. Nothing I've seen about Tyson Fury tells me Tyson Fury's some bright guy. You know what I mean? But Deontay Wilder, and will always be. He's already past that. He's already past it. He's already been cheated twice by you all. And nobody giving you guys credit. Nobody's giving them that motherfucker credit for beating him. You can say it all the way to because he cheated. And if he win the next fight, I'm telling you, we're looking for how he cheated the next fight. And it's going to be so fucking blatant. This time it's going to have to be terribly blatant. But we'll see whether or not the pressure has actually got to them where they got to get in that ring with gloves on their hands, glove all the way on their hands, and gloves with padding on them. And Deontay Wilder will walk up himself to the gloves, feel the gloves, and make sure. But that's in America. Oh, I got something. I was going to say something, but I'll leave that out. Third Eye Supreme said, hey, Fannon, it's obvious Wilder's been dealing with massive racism, even the media criticism of him and showing obvious discrimination. Man, they're ridiculous. They're irresponsible is what they are. They are blatantly irresponsible. That's what I will say that the boxing media has been. The boxing media has been blatantly irresponsible. Number one on the cheating. That is just for them not to say something about that glove flopping around and act like they don't see it. You are blatantly for hire. And this is a sport where people die, and they're going to sit up there all sanctimonious when somebody dies. I'm telling you, Tyson Fury will fuck around and kill somebody in that ring with the way that he behaves when he gets down in a fight or when he's nervous for a fight. Now, when he's up and he's winning, he's all tap, 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 tap. El Olmeca. Deontay actually has more ability to learn to box. It's almost unheard of to take up boxing at such an advanced age and do what he has done. That's what I'm saying. Like, how does this guy not have the ability to learn and pick up new things? Like, I mean, he's a human being, isn't he? He's a human being. I remember Marco Antonio Barrera changed his style up. Arturo Gatti changed his style up and had more success when he changed his style. He got rid of his training camp. Tyson Fury learned, didn't he? Obviously, since you believe, I don't even believe Eddie Hearn believe. Eddie Hearn will fuck around and will actually tell the truth on him. How dare I make a logical point? Let's see if you do it. Why did JD's approve those gloves? Why did it take you 15 months to notice the supposed floppy glove? Excuse me. Woo-wee. That is some loud smelling horse shit right there. God dog. Logical point. Those are questions, dumbass. That's not a logical point. That's not a point. You ask questions. That's not a point. Dumbass. I'm sorry. But if you say, why do you make a point and you don't make a point, you just ask questions. Why did JD approve the gloves? Because he didn't notice. I suspect. I don't know why. I have no idea why he approved them. Why did it take me 15 months to notice? It didn't. I noticed in the fight. All I thought was that he was hitting him, I thought he was slapping him upside the head. It didn't take me 15 months. I noticed it the whole time. I was like, why is he flipping his hand around like that? So there you go, dumbass. Didn't talk about it till after fight 2. I think the predominant issue was how did they let Tyson Fury get up after the knockdown? See, that's why what people's focus was. The guy got knocked unconscious. He was laid out with his eyes closed on the ground. Why didn't they stop the fight? That is the majority of the complaints that people had. Me personally, I didn't want to talk to dumbasses. Why? I didn't say nothing about it. However, it got to the point that it was so egregious that had to say something. $15 months. Yeah, pretty much, man. But look, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Make sure you guys come tomorrow. I'll be here at 8 o'clock a.m. for show, and we'll be chopping it up about some more of this good old boxing. Talk some nonsense to these trolls. But you trolls, you got to kick rocks. Seriously, you're dumb. You're dumb. But anyway, with that, I'm out. Peace.